Greetings and welcome to another edition of the Fan Perspective. I am your host Nathan Lyle. I'm recording this video a little early, but I usually don't get a lot of views right away, so more than likely by the time you see this, it'll probably be Monday or later. And here's what's on tap. Here's what's happened over the weekend. The Spurs have extended their winning streak to 10 games, but also had a horrible scare when Tim Duncan, who had already missed 4 straight games while resting a sore knee, went down with an apparent knee injury and had to be helped off the floor. According to the reports that I read, he has no major damage and should only miss the next 2 or 3 games at most. The Nuggets, meanwhile, have extended their winning streak to 6 games. The Warriors, Celtics, and Knicks have all won 4 in a row. Meanwhile, the Orlando Magic have lost 9 in a row, while the New Orleans Hornets and Washington Wizards have both lost 4 in a row, and the Bobcats and Kings have lost 3 in a row. And a few milestones for you this week. The next game that Kurt Thomas plays will be the 1,100th of his career. Joe Johnson needs to make 27 more field goals to reach 6,000 for his career. Ray Allen needs to make 8 more three-pointers to reach 2,800 for his career. Which, for those of you who don't know, Ray Allen's the all-time leader in three-point field goals, so every mark that he reaches, he'll be the first person in NBA history to do it. So yeah, 2,800's on the way. And Tyson Chandler is now 38 rebounds away from 7,000 for his career. Jason Kidd is only 8 assists away from 12,000 for his career. He would only be the second ever to do that. And Darren Williams is 7 assists away from 5,000 for his career. And Kevin Garnett is now only 33 points away from 25,000 for his career. And here are a few games I'm looking forward to this weekend. On Monday, we've got the Bulls at the Pacers. The Bulls are only a game ahead of the Pacers for the Central. The Bulls are only a game ahead of the Pacers for first in the Central Division. The Pacers have had one of the best home records in the league all season long. And then on Tuesday, you've got the Hawks at the Pacers. The Hawks have had the upper hand in this series, winning the first 2 games, but both of those games were played in Atlanta. The last 2 games, this one and the next, are going to be played in Indiana, where the Pacers have only lost 3 times this season. And then you have the Lakers at Nets. The Lakers are still in the playoff hunt and could find themselves back in the mix if they manage to take down a Brooklyn team that hasn't really been at its best lately. You've also got the Warriors at the Rockets. The Rockets are barely in the playoffs right now and are facing a Warriors team that seems to be finding its stride right now. And you've got the Bucks at the Nuggets. The Bucks are barely hanging on to the playoff seeding right now, and they are going to be tested against the Nuggets team that very rarely loses at home. And on Wednesday, you've got the Grizzlies at the Hawks. 2 teams, both in second place in their respective divisions. 2 big men in Horford versus Tyson. Tayshaun Prince possibly in action by then. This could turn out to be a fun matchup. You've also got the Rockets at the Heat. The Rockets are in the playoffs for now, but with all the great teams in the West still in the hunt, they could easily find themselves out of the playoffs come spring if they don't keep winning games. And that's going to be difficult against the Heat team that beat them last time around, albeit it was only by 3 points, so it's not like this game's completely out of reach. Then you've got the Warriors at the Thunder. They split the first 2 meetings with the home team winning each time. Then you've got the Bucks at the Jazz. The 2 teams on the edge of the playoffs fighting to stay in the postseason picture. And then on Thursday, there's only 2 games being played, so I'm going to go ahead and mention them both, though I don't really plan on watching either of them. You've got the Lakers at the Celtics. And the only reason this has any real interest for me is the fact that both of these teams could potentially miss out on the playoffs. I'm not saying that they will, but at this moment in time, the Lakers are not in, and the Celtics are in only as the 8th seed with the 500 record. You never know. If they go on a long, extended losing streak, they could end up getting edged out. Anyways, that's it for today's episode. Pardon me for all the mistakes. Tune in on Friday for another episode of NBA Weekly. And until then, I'm your host, Nathan Nile. This has been The Fan Perspective. Happy Monday, even though technically it's Sunday. You know what? Just happy whatever day it is when you're watching this.